We are recording.
Okay, so now welcome everyone to the online meeting. I think it's the sixth one, if I'm right, Marko?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so welcome to this digital graphic recording online meeting. We are gonna share some tips and tricks with you in order for you to better performance during different events, right? We usually work with markers, but there is also this opportunity to create big murals right with your iPad. This is a 13-meter long and I think it was 3 or 4 meter high screen. Okay, and I was working on my iPad. Yeah, but it was projected in this big screen. So imagine and just, yeah, you can imagine what else you can do connecting your iPad into a bigger screen. First of all, you need this. Well, I don't know if you all work with iPad. I love iPad Pro. There's the new iPad Pro 2018 in the market. So, and I will buy the new one soon. And so you will need this kind of adapter. Okay. You have the lighting or the connection, and it is also the HDMI, okay, HDMI connection. So you will need this kind of adapters in order to connect the HDMI cable here, and you can share everything in a bigger screen. Okay, there are also some other adapters, but I don't really recommend these VGA adapters. Okay, and just for you to know, there's another option. So there are some projectors that has this kind of input, so, yeah. But as you can see, so this is the adapter from VGA to VGA. I mean, VGA to HDMI. From HDMI, you go now to the lighting, and from the lighting to the iPad. Okay, so once we have these connections ready, I usually, as I said, I work with Procreate. So I come to Procreate. You know, you are familiar with this screen, but I'm gonna go now one step further. Okay, so once I make the graphic recording digitally, I make some infographics. Let me, yeah. So as you can see, I put in a pretty way different examples, and these examples were published in a newspaper after the event. Okay, so this is the value that you can sell if you work digitally. Yeah, you can create different kind of merchandising after an event. Okay, so this is an agenda. Okay, and well, I don't have a Mac, but I also have a Mac where I printed my output, okay, or the output of the work. So this is the value that you can sell. Okay, this is not only during the event, but it is also after the event, and that's something that a plus or a plus that you sell with your job.
Quick question from Enjo. She asked if you can provide a link to the first adapter which was mentioned. I suggest we just share it after the meeting. And then another question was, how does the customer provide such a big screen? Can you just, Klara, if you just speak and explain what is behind the question?
Yeah, if I put on a canvas like that, like, I don't know, 4 meter times 150 or something like that, that I usually do on the walls. That's what you did there, right? Was the screen bigger, or was the screen fitting to your canvas size, or how did you set that up with the customer?
It was like a really long screen, right? So the technicals from organizing the event, they create like you know, like this is more like a square. So they create some kind of, I don't know how to say, but they just share, or they just project this part of the iPad. Okay, so
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, because recently I was working on such a conference, and they use a special mixer, and they just customize the canvas on the screen.
so imagine you see here, right?
Okay, so the screen of the customer was way bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good.
And also, I mean, you can see here, this is like the regular canvas that they had, and they create this, or they limitate, right? They make smaller. So I just I put a black kind of space here, and also down there. And so I knew that just this part of the canvas was gonna be shared or be shown. Okay, so I just questions. I mean, if you want to interrupt me, just interrupt me.
Yes, in Procreate, your setting was A3 for this.
No, for this one, it was. Let me see. It was
really depends.
4K. 4K.
It really depends on the screen of clients, because it could differ a lot.
Yeah, but still, I mean, this is one thing. I mean, when you have a bigger screen, you don't need to zoom in and zoom out, because I mean, everything is shown, and people, an audience can see it. But when you work in a small screen, or in a smart TV, you may need to zoom in, write the things down, and then so the people and the audience can see the screen, right, and what you are writing. Does it make sense? Now, in this case, I just I went to the AirPlay. How do I say conectar?
And Javier, how do you start your your graphic recording? Do you have any preferences, starting in the middle, just with a pencil, or is there any special approach you use?
No, I mean, I just I think this is okay. So this is how I started. From the right to from the left to the right. Okay, and this way, the screen was being fulfilled little by little until the speech was done.
Did you know the agenda?
I knew there was going to be 3 like kind of talks, but I didn't know. I mean, I knew the topic, but I didn't know what was
the essence, right?
To be shared. But still, this is not a problem when you work digitally. True. Because you can take as many notes as you want, and then you can, make smaller or bigger, depending on if you have, if you need more space, you compress and you make the information smaller, and you keep working. So I mean, yeah.
You know, Javier, recently my client asked me to not only do the graphic recording, but also to do some kind of show, the animation, just to zoom in, zoom out, and to create a story. And that was the value we can also sell. So if we want to keep moving with attention of the audience, we can provide such a kind of show. It's not a good word description for that, right? But this is some kind of innovation, let's say so.
To tell a story, to really do more than just recording, is it right?
Exactly, yeah.
What did you do, Agata?
It was a fintech summit. It was like 20,000 people, 20, yeah, in Poland, and 3 days of innovations and so on. So I did a graphic recording on a screen which was like 20 meters high and long and 6 meters high, something like that. And yeah, that was an amazing experience.
Now the question.
But I used a Samsung Flip and iPad Pro and Wi-Fi. I didn't use HDMI. HDMI.
Okay, so you were projecting.
I have just the best technical team, visual team in the world. Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, it was a fintech event, right?
Yeah.
Klara?
I think I want to say that this is a big plus of Procreate, that you can use also AirPlay canvas, so you just follow the whole canvas, and you can switch to following mode, so you can zoom in, zoom out. So
Yeah.
I think Agata told about this kind of show or experience you can that participants can follow. So I would like to ask Javier, you did the whole canvas, yes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in this big event, I was sharing with AirPlay, so this was like stacked image.
Yeah.
So I went from one part to the other, and it was like depending on. I mean, I could zoom in my iPad, but not in the bigger screen.
Yeah,
I see.
Okay, and then there's another option, as Agatha said, to play with the zooms, and you go down and you go, you know, and you make some animation or kind of you play also with the audience.
I would have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
iPad Pro. So to Javier, how do you organize working with the layers? Because I use a lot of layers and then I'm lost. I don't know where I did my image, and I'm always searching where is that layer. So are you working only with one layer? Do you have a system like shadows with one layer, figures with one layer, or?
Yeah. Okay. So imagine, right? So here is the last graphic recording that I made. So we have here the layers. So I had prepared, like before the event, one group of layers per talk, per speech, right? So I had like here it says mesa redonda, so mesa de deporte. So this was like something that is always there. And then I have another layer to start drawing. Okay, now sometimes if you are in a fishbowl, or if you are in a not a conference but in a talk, question, answer situation or conversation, you can also select each layer for this question. So first question, answers. And then it goes to the second question, and you create a new layer, and you draw the question, you draw the and imagine you have two big layers or two big drawings. Then if you need more space, you know which layer has this information and this information. So just resize this and this, move a little bit, and you have more space. And you create a new layer and you start again. And if you need more space, you make it small and you create a new layer, and you keep creating layers depending on how many information and space do you need.
Okay, so based on the information on the content, you organize your layers.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Or either another option is information or letters and drawings with black pen, one layer, and color in the layer below.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I have usually I think 4 layers. One is for text, one is for outlines, one for colors, and one for shadows.
Yeah,
it works for me.
Okay.
Now question, Klara. So you give the shadows also during the talk?
No. Sometimes if it's time, I just play with it. But I prepare these layers, name them before, and when I have time, I just switch layer and
Right.
do all the things I want.
Perfect.
I'm trying to do the colors during the graphic recording because my clients are asking for it. So if the conference lasts 8 hours, so I'm supposed to give them the pictures, finished pictures, after finishing the speech. So the speech is over, and so is my graphic recording.
I think that's important, yeah, because most of them want to share it via Twitter or whatever.
Exactly, via social media, exactly,
Yeah.
and that is why, and they do prefer coloring. So
just I have to interrupt because otherwise we're running out of time for concept or the other tool.
Go for it.
So just before I continue, I want to share something with you which I really love, and I think not that many people know it. When you work with a pencil, you know maybe these kind of things. What is like that one? Yeah. I found a very nice one. It looks like that. It's called Kvitko Grip, and it's just you put the pencil in there here, and then it's made of metal. It's really beautiful, crafted. It's a company in Nuremberg, and it's 30 euro or something, and it's really valuable. So it has a nice grip.
Look fancy.
Like that, and it's really very nice if you work with that. Maybe you know this Kvitko grips from the normal
Could you send us a
tube.
link?
Yeah, I send you the link, and they have it in different colors, and it's really beautiful to work with those things because they feel good and it looks nice. Have it in black and different colors, and so it's like a real pencil then.
Yeah, few levels up to being fancy, truly.
Yeah. So I just want to share. I share my screen, and as mentioned at the beginning, I do it very often when doing sessions with customers and recording. So with the Zoom is perfect, just via AirPlay, and you see within in a few seconds my screen directly. So there it is.
There you go.
And
Marko, are you online with the PC and with the iPad Pro right now, or just with the iPad?
I need both because it's not possible on the iPad Zoom to share. I can share on the iPad Zoom only a web browser or some application, but not the whole screen. So I need a PC or a Mac or whatever running Zoom, and then in the same network I need the iPad.
Okay, cool.
And then
so you're in double now.
I'm double, yeah.
Okay.
The iPad is but the iPad is not linked in a Zoom conference. It's just in the same network.
I don't understand.
I'm in here with my I'm in here just with the Zoom on my Mac, and the iPad is just there. And then I if you can see it here now, I just choose here screen mirroring, nothing else. So there is no Zoom running on it. So it's like Apple TV. So Zoom behaves like an Apple TV.
What the fuck?
And that's really beautiful. And I can move it around. So I'm not connected. I can connect it, but here I can just run in a room, make my graphic recording, and everyone can follow.
This is amazing.
And
is someone graphic recording this? Because maybe I would.
And I use it really for meetings when we talk with customers about sales, and when I draw it and we discuss it, and I'm really following it. And that's just beautiful. And if you don't use Zoom, there is a kind of workaround. So I use Reflector as also a software. If you install that, it's also for Windows and Mac, then you can share your iPad as well. It's just that you need another software in between.
This is so cool.
It's really beautiful. So you see it now, you see concepts. I first choose the size, the size of the screen. I usually choose something in a standard format, so A2, A3, or A4. I use no iPad screen format because most companies want to have it printed out. And so it's beautiful if it just fits to standard paper formats. And for graphic recordings, I use often A2, but you can choose any size. You can go 2 meters. So if you say we have a canvas, it's 15 meters long and 3 meters high, just type it in and it gives you the right, the right setup. And for the application, it does not matter because it's all vector based, like Adobe Draw as well. So there are no pixels. It's just you can change the size of anything. You can import it. You can change any line. So I use A2, and yeah, then white background. You can also go infinite, which means there are now boundaries, which means you have an infinite canvas. I can go, if I just draw something, I'll go a bit bigger. If I can draw something and you see it's infinite, I can go in every direction. There's no end of my paper. But for me, it's difficult because I need some boundaries, especially when doing graphic recordings. Otherwise, I get somehow lost. But it's more, a way of what you prefer. And you can see, so I need something to have an orientation. So this is A2. You can, like in Procreate, you can, turn the paper, but I would never do it in a graphic recording. So I switched that feature off. I say I don't want any canvas rotation because it makes the people, and myself, it would get them, make them crazy.
Dizzy.
Yeah, so that's off. The rest is fine. And for me, what I really like is this auto layering. So I do not have to care which layer I use. So let's assume I just start with some kind of person. So just choose and you can see there's the pen layer here on the side. And if I now fill his head with a color, then it jumps automatically to the other layer. So it and if I go back now to my pen, it goes back to the pen layer. So I don't have to care for any layering. The tool is doing it automatically. And it's really fast. And the same when I say, okay, let's write something. This is Tom. And then I want to underline it. So I choose a kind of a marker. So like this typical marker thing, a nice color. And this is also nice. That's the Copic wheel. It's the original Copic colors. You have them all. And I choose BO5 and I just underline it. You see it here. It's this typical Copic layer style. And the beauty is whatever I do, if I see, that's not that nice. So this line, I can just mark it and change it.
What?
So every stroke you can change later on.
Yeah.
It's just it's like an Adobe Illustrator.
This is the vector thing, huh?
It's the vector.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And even more, what I like, let's draw him a tongue, this guy. And I see, the tongue is not as nice. Let's go for a new tool they offer. It's called Nudge. So I can go in, choose the size, and then I can change the vector here. It's too small. And a bit more. And then I can change the vector like this. And it's just a vector. I can choose it and this is really powerful. And you see, so I use it for graphic facilitation a lot. I have Tom here and then I decide, Tom is maybe better there.
Yeah.
Marko, can you see our faces?
And it's really beautiful. And even more watercolor. That's what I like a lot. If you want to add some nice effects, it's also vector-based watercolor. So let's say you add some nice watercolor in blue, in green. So I go to auto layering. You see, I just switched it on. You can do manual layering if you want to do it, have some kind of your own structure. But in auto layering, it automatically creates a new layer called watercolor. And then I can choose my green, and I can just color it, add another color, maybe if it's ocean, a bit of a blue, and it mixes it.
Yeah.
And now I can choose it, and it blends automatically over. I can make it bigger, smaller. It's like real color, and it's so powerful. And then I can use my marker and just draw in a nice face or whatever. And maybe then I decide, that's a bad color. It's really a bad one. I go to my pen layer, and I just only go for this layer and make it white because it's better.
And pens, I think this is the biggest advantage of concept, that you can everything you make, every mark, you can take or hold the picture, all layers, and move, or you can choose just this one layer and move. And also when you have one tool, you use pen, and you make you want to decide or to switch it or change it, you can choose it just the one stroke, and do it with marker, with any other tool. After you do the stroke, you can change to any other tool.
To any other pen.
Yeah. And it's changing. You can do the circle with pen and then change it to fill.
Yeah. So I can show you directly. So let's say I start drawing something with my pencil, which is also very powerful. So you have a soft pencil and you can just sketch something up. So let's assume I have this beautiful lady here. So and you see it's like a pencil sketch. And then I can just change it to a different one.
What the fuck?
And that's so I make it a bit smaller, give it some nice coloring, say
also
yellow hair.
Change to filling and so on.
And so that's also so you have some kind of, I use it often if it needs to be a bit more accurate. So choose the guideline and say I need a very clear circle, and it's just a yellow circle. And later on, oh no, it needs to be like switch it off. No, it should be not a fill circle. It should be more a kind of outline. Then I choose, and it's an outline. Or it's just a circled water brush, or it could be anything you want. And also
you can change anytime you want.
Yeah, so it's all vector, and it's really powerful. So I use it very, very often. And also adding your own libraries. Like here, you see predefined objects. And we have, for example, we have our own library defined. So here you find, I prepared it for customers, different things. I often need this kind of our state. It's a Thuringia. So I have it predefined, just add it there, and then it's there and I can start. So it's just like a sticker. And it's my own sticker. Also this lady, I say, it's such a beautiful lady. I add it, and then it's there. And I can use it in any other drawing. So the vector. So
Bam!
And Marko, how many years have you been working with concepts or artwork?
From the beginning.
I'm discovering a new world here.
And this is a library we defined. It's just, you can see we define predefined objects. It's in every concept a library. If you need a guy who's meditating Larry, our business Larry, and this guy is just there. And
awesome.
Then our business Lily, and it's there, and you can just use her.
Meditating business, Larry.
Marko, how fast or how efficient this application is? Because I see too much complexity, at least for me. I mean, what I like from Procreate is the simplicity of
Okay. To be honest, for me,
yeah.
Procreate is too complex. So I tried it, but it's. I think it's more way of what you're used to.
Yeah,
More
sure.
complex thing. This is a graphic recording I did for SAP, and you can see here all the different layers, all auto layering. So I did not think about it. It's just a pen, then the fillings, and then some frames, a bit of background for some, and then it fills up. These are the advantages, but there are also some disadvantages. So you have no video function. So like Procreate, where you can just record, which is really beautiful. Also, Adobe Draw has this video function. So or work visual to create all these lines. So it's for different aspects. However, what I really like, and this is if I go back, so let's assume my little drawing. Let's choose another one. Maybe this is also something I learned from Brandy Agerberg. Very beautiful. So I create this kind of structure beforehand. So I think about
awesome.
how to use it. My title, my sections, then you see here the fillings, the shadows. So it's all defined, and you see on the left side, you see all my tools. So I define it that way, so I'm very fast later on.
Yeah, I do have the same thing. That's what I shared before. Also, I have my pre-made, how to say, brush.
Yeah.
6PT, 4PT, yeah.
Yeah, and
so that's a good way also to remember how thick your brush is.
Yeah. Otherwise, for me, I would get lost, and you see it. I have it also made for A3. It's more facilitation scenario where I do not need that big screen. And then when you see the fill, I use often 70%. So if I just fill it, I can add some effect. If I just lay over it, so it just adds like a Neuland pen. It just adds another layer, and then you can add some nice effects or something like that.
And this is the second or next thing which is difficult when you want to fill something, because in Procreate you just take your color and drop it. And you can fill it. And here you just need to go whole path of the when
you have really to follow, so it's not as exact as Procreate.
And also when you want to use eraser, don't do it, because eraser is just next filling but transparent. So I just work with mark it or take the part I want to change and delete it or change it. Frankly speaking, in the online sessions I use Procreate just because Procreate is for me much more simple than concepts. But when I work offline and clients want something vector based, I really love concepts, but it's really huge and difficult app for me.
And that's true. It is. So it's a different way of working. It's not that you erase, it's really you choose the item and you delete it. Because in vectors, it's not, so they're busy developing it, but it's difficult because then they need to cut the vector in some way. But at the moment they're just putting a mask on it, and if you then open it in Adobe Illustrator, it's a mess. So that's very true. And so as you can see, when I export things, I can do it as JPEG, and you have the different options. I can't hear Affinity Designer can only SVG. Okay, export. And there it is. So I can make my concept drawings in there. Here you can see it, all the different vector strokes that are in there, and you can manipulate them and change them, and that's the power. As Klara mentioned, if you do logo design or whatever, it's really nice. And I use it also in real-time scenarios, but I think it's more a way of how often you use it, and it's basically the only tool I use. And yeah, it's really, it helps me a lot. And just to give an example, so we design a new book. It's about selling cycle, and it's also all these graphics I do inside there because the publisher wants to have it really in a format that they can adapt it. And this is really powerful then. And it's basically a decision where it makes most sense for you. And
I guess, Marko, this is not the free version, right?
No, I use the pro version. It's €10, and then Concepts has a different way of paying for things. So they have a one way you pay a la carte. So you pay the pro version, and then they develop new features all the time, and you pay for the new features. Or you have some subscription-based format where you just pay a year and you get all the features.
As I said, much more faster and simpler is Procreate for me. So I do online graphic recordings and online things with Procreate because they can see the whole canvas, and the sensitivity of brushes is really somewhere different. But what I really like about Concepts is the thing you can change anything anytime you want. So I often use it for offline or after work. Sometimes we work on a big canvas with markers, and client wants then to recreate the offline graphic recording to vectors. So then I have time to play with it, and the biggest advantage is I can provide you vectors and you can use it. You have the license, you pay for it, and you can use it for your further further work with it, to use just icons or just part of it, because your graphical guy every can work with it as you want. So this is the biggest advantage, but it takes a lot of time to learn to work with concepts.
I am
definitely
trying a little bit, and it's kind of not easy to learn.
It is different experience. It works in a different way. As Marko said, it's really true. But you can every time you can change the stroke because it works separately. And also I appreciate they work on the brushes and move it forward. I see really development in Concepts to be
the
more
auto
user
layering
friendly.
is so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wish that they had that in Procreate.
Yeah, I think both tools are really complex from what you can do on different areas. So for me, for example, for Procreate, that's why I'm hesitating. And I also asked in the beginning, I don't know which is the right pen to start with. So there are so many pens, and you need an outliner, whatever, some kind like a Neuland, and some kind of filling, or it's really simple, but no idea, there's so many.
I create my own Neuland marker.
Okay, that's good. Because
can you share it?
Yeah. So this is, oh shit, hold on. So this is like, kind of
the structure.
How do you say poroso?
Yeah, I've been looking for something like that. Can you somehow export that?
Yeah,
and
you can
share it with
export
us?
Procreate.
Yeah.
That would be, maybe that's
That'd
nice. We create some kind of Dropbox link where we share our
Awesome.
stuff.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Henk was like he wrote his email here in the chat. So I mean, if you guys want to put your emails, and I will send you the brush.
Yeah, I just wonder, but it's well, it's again the same discussion that we had in Hamburg. We need some kind of central web page or something where we can share or collect things. We do not have something like that yet, because it's with all this IFVP thing, and that makes it difficult.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, what's a good? Yeah, well, the email is okay. I just wonder how we can share it to the others. No idea. Maybe Henk, you have something, or can bring it to the core team. How we can solve this kind of things. Yes. And I share just here the this Kvitko pencil, Apple Pencil grip. And you have then you have also that page, and you can check if it's something for you.
Okay, so now we have Catherine.
And about brushes, I really love in Procreate. I really love the gel pen, because it's the one stroke, the straight one stroke. But they change it when Procreate has had some development.
Yeah.
But I definitely make the work and found it on the web. So I can share later, or then the old Procreate brushes, because I really missed it. And
actually, you can go like you can have the same brushes that that you have before. I mean, there's just one option that you just like click and it goes like one version back.
Yeah, but I really love this version, but want the gel pen back. So I just find the web page with all the brushes, and just take the old gel pen to my brushes. And also I like, I don't know if it's called script, or it's the with pressure sensitivity. So it's the two most used brushes for me, the gel pen and the script.
That's great to know. Okay, I'll play a bit with that.
Just more things that are great for Procreate in this new version. Well, hold on. This is not really. Now I think you will see. So if I want to make a circle.
And wait.
Okay. That's nice, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is also like kind of easy and fast way for at least for graphic recordings.
Yeah. If you work for Audi, you can just quick have 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I sent you. Just check if you receive the brush. Okay, please, and if you confirm this, will be great.
Yeah. Thank you, Javier. It's here.
Very, very good. I think we already reached the 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I think it was so great to have you in there. And yeah, I'm curious, maybe for the next session, if someone really wants, has experience in other tools like Adobe Draw, I really want to learn more there. I tested it once, but never get warm to it. But I think there are also hidden treasures in that tool, and also in many other tools out there.
Actually, Mina usually work with some kind of, I don't know if it is a Samsung screen or Windows screen, and she graphic record like if it is a canvas or a paper, but this is a screen, and then it is projected in a big screen as well. And
Well,
I asked her to share this experience, but she couldn't make it today.
well, Javier, I'm working on Samsung Flip. It's like electronic flip chart. This is the tool you are talking about?
I think so. Yeah, I
So
think so.
I'm an ambassador of Samsung Flip in Poland. So I can share my experience if you'd like to.
That would be great. I saw
definitely.
that one, Agata, I saw it at CeBIT. I worked a bit with that, but I really want to know how it is in a real situation, not on a CeBIT where they say, okay, make a
Well,
scroll.
in business meeting, it's perfect, but
Yeah.
while during the graphic recording, it's a little bit, you know, limited, let's say.
I think we make another meeting for that.
I can show you my works.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Also, sometimes I have some customers asking her, do you have something that is just a good show? So they love to see
It's
something,
great
and
for
then
a
it would
show.
be nice to do something on that tool. Yeah, so let's schedule it for the next time. So maybe going off the iPad or other tools and work, with other digital tools, because I think there's a big movement at the moment with this kind of new media, because people wanna have other conferences and other ways of working, and it would be nice to.
Virtual reality.
Yeah, like that one as well.
Virtual reality.
Yeah, I tried one application with virtual reality. Damn, it's so crazy to create a world out of all the information. I mean, but this is for another time.
Yeah, we should definitely have that one on our list. Really good. It was so nice to have you in there. Just feel free. Use the Facebook group to add your own things, your own topics. What else you wanna share? And it's really the idea that everyone gives and gets a bit. And I think we start really with the settings of the pens. It's a lot of value I can share. Also what I do in concept, some of the things, and maybe that's also nice. I have to end this up because I really love concepts. You can draw your own stickers, and you can use them on in the Apple. So if you have Apple iPhone, you can just use the texting tool and have your own stickers just out of concepts, which is really beautiful. And then you have
great.
whatever you drew, you can connect with your friends with your own mannequins or whatever you like. Okay, then thank you very much for joining. We wish you a great Christmas time. Have fun.
Too.
You too. Thank
Enjoy time with
very
family,
much.
friends, everyone you love, and all the best to you.
Thank you guys for organizing it.
Yeah.
Thank you very
really
much.
needed.
Thank you all for attending, because this is not able without you. So, all right. I just want to say Merry Christmas to all of you guys.
Yeah. All the best to you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.